Bonjour à tout le monde, ko JP nizere ko mukomeye amahoro abane namwe. Trump agomba kwirukana abasomali baba muri Minnesota kubera iki? Kubera ngo ni abasuma, ngo ni garbage, ngo ni ibintu by'ibivuyo. Kandi ugiye kubiraba hamwe hamwe abasomali barafite ubumwe, mugabo barafite n'amakosa yabo aho banigana entrebo bazi kwiba bazi gukora ibintu by'ubusuma. Rero kubona Trump avuga ati ni garbage ni ibintu bishobora kuba byumvikana kuko nabo nyene ntiboroshe fo kuvyemeza. Rero ibintu nuko byifashe ibibazo ni byinshi abarafite n'umushinga amateka ariko aragerageza kwagwanira ariko aparama ntagishoboka.
And President Trump ups the rhetoric against Somali immigrants in Minnesota. This comes after prosecutors uncovered fraud that largely benefited parts of the state's community. They say 59 people have been convicted in those schemes and more than $1 billion has been stolen from taxpayers, despite only a small pocket of the tens of thousands of people in the Somali immigrant community there being responsible. President Trump, he's attacking all of them.
Avuga yuko abantu 57 bagirijwe ubusumwa buri ku mabiliyoni y'amafaranga. Rero n'abasomali bikavuga yuko abasomali badakora, abasomali bigwa bitembera mu park mugabo bakaba bafite ibindi bintu biri musi gitanda bakora. Aho nidukuyemwe rero iyo bahemukaniye bararasana. N'abantu bafite ishavu kandi n'abantu wanashaka bafite n'ubumwe iyo bahemukiye baragukuramo kandi n'abantu barinda. Nibyo rero Trump avuga ati abantu bo muri Minnesota mwese ni mugende musubiri wanyu. Bavuga yuko ari abantu amajana 7 bashobora gutaha kuko bakuyeho itegeko ry'aba protege nk'abarofije. Barabemerera urofije mga Trump yabukuye. Murumva ko n'ibintu bishobora gufata n'ibindi bihugu. Bivanye ngene twigenza, bivanye ngene ibihugu bibona ngene dukora tumeze. Sinibaza ko abarundi bojamo kuko abarundi muri Canada bazwi neza.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too.
Murumvise avuze yuko ibihugu byabo atakigenda muri buka yuko yavuze ngo ibihugu byo muri Afrika ni bya bindi yavuga ngo ni binogo. Reka tubifate gutyo. Ubu rero avuze ati n'ibindi bihugu turetse na Somalia ni ibihugu bimeze nabi ntitugomba abo bantu baba mapubere baza ngaha muri ibi bihugu bikavana ingene abantu baba bariko bigenza rero.
And now a federal official tells CNN that ICE will launch an operation targeting Somali immigrants in Minneapolis and in St. Paul in the coming days. Camille Foster is back with us. This is not surprising because it is often the case that when something happens, Trump targets the entire community. But in this case, 59 individuals brought to justice or will be brought to justice over this alleged fraud. But now everybody from Somalia should be kicked out of the country?
Yeah. Look, the categorical denunciations are bad. It is also the case, and this isn't qualifying it in a way that abdicates Trump's responsibility for having said it, although he isn't the most sophisticated communicator. Charismatic, sophisticated, not so much.
Ariko nibaza yuko Trump avuga nibyo bintu bama bavuga kuko barashobora kuvuga ngo abantu bo muri Ukraine barashobora kuvuga abantu bo muri igihugu cyari cyose babona kitabanezereje bagaca bafata abantu babo bakamera nko bafyonda no kuvuga ko bashobora gufata igihugu cyose. Uno munsi ni Somalia parce que Somalia yarafashe iyo ville yitwa Minnesota cyangwa iyo state. Amatora baye ni ngombwa umusomara atogwe hari utatowe mugabo ntibyabaye birebire ariko hariho umugore yitwa Ilhan Omar yamari mu namashinga amateka kandi yavuze yuko ari mu namashinga amateka kubera intere z'igihugu cya Somali. Ati jewe muri system ya Amerika nzo protege igihugu cyanje cya Somali. Murumva ko bari baracyakunda igihugu cyabo nubwo baba bari mu nzego baba bakora igihugu cyabo. Rero bakagizwa yuko barungika amaheri wabo bafasha yami hari iterabwoba urumva bagirizwa ibintu byinshi. nico gituma usanga ari ibintu bigoye hama ikindi cya kabiri barashavuje abirabure muri Amerika bavuze yuko bobo abasomali atarabirabure ngo nabantu bari brown ubu rero bariko basaba yuko abanyamerika bo bafasha abirabure kuko nibo babarungitse nabo nibo bari next nabo banse kubafasha kuko barababaye cyane bavuga yuko babagaye kumva bavuga ko bo abasomali atarabirabure.
This is how we talk about race and ethnicity in this country. We do a lot of categorical denunciations. For a very long time, it was all about kind of black lives and whiteness and what whiteness does. No one should be shocked that this is how we're talking about Somalians in this context as well. And I think in general, if we were to move away from that kind of categorical nonsense, it'd be a little bit easier to take on board the condemnations of the president in this context, as opposed to having to just kind of do it when it's convenient for us. So that's the first thing I'd say. But again, I do think that responsibility for this sits with the president. He ought to be a hell of a lot more careful. It is completely inappropriate to condemn an entire community for the failings of a particular community, but the failings of particular people in the community, but the failings of those people are real. And the actual scandal here is genuinely egregious. And there are lots of political actors who ought to be condemned. And I do think that we do ourselves a disservice when we don't try to interpret this in a way that allows us to both condemn the categorical statements here that are, again, irresponsible and wrong.
Reka ndababwira ikintu kimwe bavuga ngo umuryambwa umwe abumwe agatukisha umuryango umuryambwa abumwe agatukisha umuryango. Hari abantu dukora amakosa, hari abantu bakora amakosa ugasanga community yose irafashwe. Nk'ubu nubwo barasomali natwe gwa barundi turashikirwa ko twitwa ko turababo umwirabure gusaba muri Afrika. Rero imbere y'umuzungu kenshi no kuraba ingene twe tugira unité mu nzira yo gukora ibintu biduteza imbere neza. Ariko mu gihe habaye bakenya bakora amakosa biba twese bituja ko kubera couleur yacu. Nico kintu kinini ngana ashaka kuvuga. Murakoze rero naho utaha tuzoba twongera.